You're saying that you're a white woman?
I am.
How so?
She identifies as a white woman.
Yeah.
Is that a true, like, that's an actual thing, being transracial?
Yes.
My thing is, in the Bible, it's clear evidence.
Trav,
Nice gift there, girl.
It's
Nice
clear
gift.
evidence.
Thank you,
In
Trav.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48, you might want to read that because he's calling
I'm
his
listening.
actual
Thank
people.
you very much. Thank you.
This
I'll
is
read
not,
the Bible
this is
next
not,
year.
This is not Muslimism. This is about racism.
Islam Religion Live. No, it's not. I'll host it later if you'd love to go into that.
Oh, the thing is, though, right? I heard that, and I don't know about it. So you gotta tell me because I don't want to, be wrong.
Well, can I help you out with that because of your comment right there? In the Quran, it says right in the front of it, it says respect all races, humans, and religions.
And in the Quran, it does not say races. It says we respect and we acknowledge tribes and nations. It says nothing about races. God did not create race.
Yeah, he didn't. No, that was a whole,
But it's basically stating to respect all people.
Yeah, I am supposed to acknowledge like other religions and like their entirety in their original state, like Christianity, of course. But I mean, we can have a religious debate earlier or a conversation. I don't really debate religion. I have conversations with people, and I respect.
I don't want to debate religion.
Okay,
because I feel like it's not something we don't have to. We don't have to debate it, but we can like have
a conversation. I misused my words. I said conversation because I don't debate religion.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
My thing is right. The Quran, I heard that it's like different from the Bible because I heard
is different from the Bible.
The Quran, I don't know how to say it. Please say it to me. The Quran. There we go. I don't know how to say it, but they said that there were some points in there that they were like, I think there's one part in the Quran that says you shall kill somebody if they decide to leave the Islam religion. Is that true or not?
Again, if you'd love to have a religion conversation later on, I'd love to have it with you. But I'm here to talk about race.
Well, I don't feel like white people are oppressed. I don't.
How many white college funds are there for people?
Wait, no. Hold on, Jared. What is oppression?
Oppression is when the superior race or the race that feels like they are superior decides to come down on the minority race.
Okay, so here's what you like to do. I figured you out now. You love to give your own interpretations on like other things, which is, I don't know, it's not the right thing to do. But I'll give you the definition of oppression.
Okay.
But before I do that, do you think that white people can be treated unfairly just solely based on their race?
Absolutely.
Like just be treated. Absolutely. Awesome. You think so? Okay. You said absolutely to that. I'm glad that you said absolutely because I agree with you. So let's just look at this definition of oppression right here. Prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment or control. That's oppression right there. Okay. The state of being subject to unjust treatment or control. So do you think, again, we asked you a question of, do you think that there's unjust treatment towards white people solely on being white? And you said absolutely.
I said it can be. You said, do you think that white people can be oppressed? That's what you said.
No, I said, do you think that white people are treated unjustly solely on the basis?
Do I think that they can be?
Yeah, so this is why you're not going to play semantics because you already answered the question. So I asked you before bringing the definition up. I said, hey, do you think that white people can be treated unfairly or unjustly solely on the basis of them just being white? You said, absolutely. I said, oh, I'm glad you said that. Then I brought up the definition. The definition is clarifying that unjust treatment is oppression. Yay, we did it. We realized that white people are treated unjustly, which is oppression.
You literally just completed my point by repeating exactly what you said. I didn't say that they are, but you said, can they be? And I responded to your question.
And then I said, are they treated unjustly just for being white?
And repent and pray. Love you.
And then I said, oh, so you're going to run away because you were wrong. Uh-oh. That's no good. That's no fun. Ugh, now I got to go find the topic again. Dejan, can you let somebody else up?
Yeah, I got you.
Did she say repent?
She,
Wait, hold on. Did she say repent?
religionism, Dijon.
Did she say repent?
We're gonna go. We're gonna go into religionism now, bro.
I know. I love when people bring Bibles to me. Bring the Bible to me. Which one are you going to use? If you're going to bring the Bible, you got to tell me which one you're using first. No disrespect to the Christians in here. I love you guys. But that was just solely to her. She didn't tell me which one she was going to use.
Actually, King Ransom. It's not my favorite word. Dijon just put it into a whole freaking segment, like a monologue segment, to show the guy that there was other like handicapped ism and all kinds of isms and everything.
Ableism.
Yeah, or ableism, and yeah. So it's not my favorite word. It was just basically used as an inside joke.
You guys, I lost the caption. How did I do this?
Yeah, so hey everybody.
Hi.
So I'm listening to like everyone's views and whatnot, and I just want to understand a little bit more of like the basis behind this, because I have a multi-race family. So I definitely understand when you say like white people, no matter what like your physical color is, like we're talking like mental at this point, I'm assuming because of your caption. If you identify as white, then that's your prerogative and whatnot, respectfully. So for me, one of the main things I feel is like that's really causing a lot of issues. And when I talk to people, I don't talk in a way that like your feelings are wrong or that's not even a situation. I just really like to know like what people feel and like how they think, and maybe I can learn something from it, but not necessarily be like agreeing with it, if that makes sense. So for me, I feel like one of the main issues is that mainstream media and entertainment plays a big role in like that whole division, is like and trying to like say, oh, this group is always oppressed or taken advantage of or killed versus like this group. But the reality of it is we don't, for myself, I don't even get to see are the groups being marginalized in mainstream media. Now, I identify as Afro-American, even though I have multiple races inside of me. But when it comes to the outside world, the outside world looks at me as black, and I identify as black, so that's what it is. But I see us always in mainstream media, always at the forefront of everything. And it's unfortunate because we've been programmed to believe that we need to be this way, like that we need to have almost like a self-pity, and that we
No,
need
he's
to
spitting. He's spitting.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, yeah, you spitting. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. I'm older. I was like, what did I do? But
It's talking facts. You are speaking the truth.
Got it. Yeah. So,
in children in this younger generation's terms.
Yeah, got you. And thank you all for listening to me. But so yeah, it's just that I really wish that we could all see each other more, so like having these real intelligent conversations. I'm glad that you all are doing what you're doing, because it's just shedding light on what people think. Like when I see white people, I used to feel some type of weird fear. I used to do that fake smile. But now when I walk past my quote unquote white people, American term, white people, I don't smile. I don't feel fear. I just treat them like they should be treated, just like
damn,
like, them just to treat me. Like, I don't want you thinking that I'm some thug or whatever the fuck thing you have associated me with because of like what you've seen. A lot of people think that we live in these transparent lifestyles, and we really don't. There's people that are in the burbs, black people that are in the burbs that have never hung out with city black people. So when they go around them, they like, what the fuck is this shit?
W in the comments, please and thank you for the adventures. W in the comments, please and thank you.
Out with them, they're like, well, what the fuck is
Okay, swipe down for your notifications, swipe back up. Swipe down for your notifications, swipe back up. Dejan, where's mine? Swipe down for your notifications, swipe back up. You gotta swipe down from your notifications. I'm probably repeating in your mic, or in your speaker. I'm probably repeating in your speaker, so you're gonna have to swipe down from your notifications and swipe back up. Dang it, I liked him. Hold on, you guys. We'll get him back. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, thank you. Dejan, I switched it, but I cannot find my other topic. You're lucky.
Good,
What
bruh.
you have to say?
I think I'm back. I'm sorry.
You're fine, you're fine, you're fine.
Yeah, sorry about that. And I'll wrap it up. My main thing is just I hope that people that are listening and viewing take this actually seriously, because it's really fucking up our whole society if we're not smart enough to see past the demonic disguise of social media and mainstream media and these things that we're programmed to think about one another. I'm pretty sure this guy Jared, even being on this platform with multiple people, multiple backgrounds and whatnot, seems like a pretty cool person. Dijon being so young and realizing and seeing the differences, and you, my queen, on here just talking about the way that you think differently and forcing people to respect that. That's the whole thing. We really need to take each other seriously, but understand that the world is a game, and if we play it well, we can respect each other. And that's my
Yeah.
piece.
I'm not going to go into a whole monologue about what I experienced, but I grew up on a reservation. I'm half white and half American Indian adventures. And I was in fights every day from both sides of the party, in school, 4 to 5 times a day, because on a reservation, when I grew up, it was back in the 80s, white people didn't accept me because I was half Indian, and Indians didn't accept me because I was half white. So I've been oppressed and been, had racism thrown at me all the way around the block. So I don't see the crown box. I literally do not see the crown box. I've dated outside my race and every race of fashion, and I don't look at people like that. I've dated women. I didn't date black women or white women or Mexican, Latinas. I dated women, and that's how I look at it.
That's a really good point, Jared, because the thing about it, with people that are mixed cultured, we get to see that we are the connectors of it all. And not to get on sexuality or anything like that, but it's just a bisexual person. The bisexual people that I've met, they are masculine enough to understand when it's time to be strong and providing and everything like that, but they're also feminine enough to be sensitive enough to their partner's feelings, and there is this almost a safety net in their sexuality in that, because a lot of the time for me, in the heterosexual experience, you have to be so much harder, and if you're not, you're labeled as anything else. And in the homosexual experience, you get to do whatever you want to do and be all feely and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying that every homosexual is that way or every heterosexual is that way. I'm saying that the way society makes you feel, there's less pressure or more pressure depending on that title that you resonate with.
Yep.
I definitely respect your opinion. I wanted to just ask the host though by what they mean by transracial, because you were saying that previously spoke ahead of me, that you respect other people and their beliefs because you're really not here to argue with somebody about what they see themselves as.
No, I'm not.
I just wanted to know where your stance comes from saying that you are a transracial white woman.
Yeah, I identify as white. That's my self-identity. Race is a social construct, and based on my self-identity, I am white.
And Why have you chosen of all the races to identify as a white woman per se?
Being attached to my blackness, and especially with the environment around me, it wasn't who I was. It wasn't who I identified as within the environment I was in, and I identified and realized that I am more white than I was black.
Okay, what do you think constitutes making you white?
The environment you're in, what your self-identity as a whole. I think your self-identity as a whole matters more than the environment you're in.
Okay, so you were around predominantly white people, so you decided to identify as them?
I was both. I was around both.
Okay, and do you think that, would you say this as well to your family members, such as your mother, your father, and they know that you identify as this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you would rather identify as a white woman than a black woman?
Rather, it's not, I'm not marginalizing it. No, not whatsoever. But I just am comfortable with who I am, and that is white.
But
But can I ask you a question? Have you ever seen where two black or melanated people that have a baby and it comes out white because of dominant genes?
yes, that's my best friend.
Could you not say that she has two white parents and she came out black as dominant genes?
But she has two black parents and she came out white. But her
We have no knowledge of this because she has never stated what color her parents are as far as her race.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm just asking questions, trying to get a better understanding without being judgmental and understanding where this view's coming from. Because I personally am an Afro-Black woman. I identify as a woman, and I don't know. I study gender, and for some people, it could be offensive to say that you're a transracial white woman because for them, it's kind of making more so not a mockery, but it can be offensive because they say that sometimes gender is something that you can choose what you identify. But
Do you believe that?
yes and no. I believe that number one thing that you should do is do what makes you happy, and if that's what makes you happy,
Okay, here's the thing. Is gender a social construct?
Yes.
I disagree.
Yeah, me too. So is race a social construct?
No, not for me.
Can you? Okay, let's go from. I don't want to get into gender, but we can. How is gender a social construct? What is a social construct? Let's start from there.
Let's start with the word social and go from there.
What's a social construct?
Well, while she's figuring that out, I actually do have a question. As far as when you say you identify more as white, what is the actual segment of white? Like, what is the ethnicity that you identify as white?
Say that again. Sorry.
What is the ethnicity that you identify as white? Like, because you know white is like American. Yeah.
I don't know my ethnicity. I was adopted.
How is white American?
Because if you go anywhere else, they won't ask you, "Oh, you're white." They'll say, "Oh, you're German." "Oh, okay, you're British, you're Irish, you're English."
That's because some people don't adhere to the social construct, like me. Well, I do, but I don't. Like, I acknowledge that there are races within this world, so I adhere to it by acknowledging what my self identity is. Some people would rather talk about their ethnicity and their nationalism and their quote unquote roots rather than their race, which I see a lot of people doing.
Okay. Now, I don't know if this is fully true. Like what I've read is that there's like 5 races. So now races are different from like cultures and ethnicities. So what I'm asking is, how do you know that you identify as like, are you identifying as like an American white woman, or like I'm just trying to understand, like, are you like, I know you said you don't really know which one you identify with, but there's
No. My nationality is American. I was born here.
No, I know that. I mean, more so like if you identify as anything that's of some type of cultural nature, there is a background, there's a culture, there's sometimes a religion that goes with it. There are,
Okay, I'm American. I'm American. I'm Muslim. I'm Muslim first before any of this. I'm Muslim. I'm American, and I'm white. That's my identity.
so when you say you don't identify as black, there's several different ethnicities and
No.
cultures in the black spectrum. That's why I'm trying to understand
Okay, well,
if
I
you're
live
not.
in America. I adhere to American culture. I am white. I am Muslim. I practice Islam. Like,
Okay, got it. So you don't really have like a so okay, so you use your religion to kind of help you maneuver through the world. And again, I'm not trying to attack you or anything. I'm just really trying to just
I mean,
understand.
yes, Islam is a way of life. Like, my religion means a lot to me, but it's not necessarily like it's a help. I don't know what you mean. I use my religion.
So no. What I'm saying to you is I see that you use so a lot of people, if you don't have a religious spectrum, right? You'll use your culture as a guide for you to navigate through the world. So because you have your religion, you use your religion to navigate through the world to kind of like know like your do's and don'ts, like your type of norms and whatnot while you're moving through
Not true.
society.
There are multiple facets of my do's and don'ts, not just my religion, but at least I adhere to the dunya. Like, I have to follow laws. Those are American laws. I go to American standards. Like I've said, like they're like, what are you talking about? That's with everything, with anything that you identify. There might be culture, quote unquote, norms, social norms that you adhere to. With anything, you live in America, you adhere to social norms in America. What are you missing here?
Well, I'm not missing anything. I
Oh,
understand what you're saying. I just wanted to be clear and understood about what you were actually saying. But again, it's not an attack, and I don't want you to feel like it's an attack. I know you get attacked a lot because I can tell from just the way you're coming at me. And that's okay because I get it.
I'm
But
not taking that
I
to an
really
attack way.
wanted
If
to.
you feel that way, I'm not. It was not my intention to.
Okay, well, awesome. So we're square with that then, because I really just genuinely wanted to know your concept is something that does need to be explored and talked about respectfully, because it's not something that if we're talking social norms, what you're stating and your position is not a social norm, even though it is to be respected, to be clear.
But she also made the comment that white people are the most oppressed in America. Do you agree with
Yeah,
the comment?
again. So I don't know if you heard what I said before. I said, you know what? I wouldn't marginalize it. The girl came up on comments. The request went up to 10. It wasn't about views because I'll get them regardless of me being on the screen or not, or having a background. So it wasn't about that whatsoever. But it was to get other people up here. Because a lot of people don't think that Black people can be racist. And that's something that I do care about. Because I do think oppression needs to stop. And I think marginalizing needs to stop. And I think that belittling each other just on the basis of race needs to stop.
So how do you pose that happens? Like, what is your plan? And again, this isn't an attack. I'm just curious to know.
Yeah. So if we have this problem that is named racism, right?
Mhm.
And everybody has a different ideology of what racism is, and we don't know what it is. You have a different thought of what racism is, another person has a different thought. If I'm out here saying, hey, this is what racism is, and I'm adhering and acknowledging what the problem is, we're able to solve it. If nobody knows what the heck the problem is, we're never going to fix the problem. If nobody knows what the problem is, and we have different ideas of what the problem is, nothing's going to be solved. But once we at least all acknowledge that there's a problem, everybody can perpetuate this problem and that we need to stop it, then the problem can be fixed. So
Black
my
people
job
can't
right now
technically
is to
stop
acknowledge that
racism.
there is a problem. Huh?
Got it.
Black people can't realistically stop racism. So you said that we're identifying the
Well,
black, but
how can't they?
because we're the ones facing the racism. They're the ones that's oppressing
Everybody
us
can face
systematically.
racism.
White
It's
people can't
not
get into power. We can't. It's
If
very
you
rare
could
that
bring
we'll
me
become in
a
a position of
definition of
power
how
that we can
racism is
actually make a
systematic.
change.
How can
Yeah, if
black
you
people
could
not
give me a
get?
definition of how racism is systematic, I'd gladly love to see that.
How can black people not become into power when we had Barack Obama as president?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the exception of the rule. That's not
That's the
the
exception of
majority.
the
That's an
rule.
Wait,
exception.
but
That's
what's the
the
rule? The rule is that racism was created to other each other based on the color of your skin. It was created to make you inferior or superior on the basis of your race. It was the ideology first that you were different just because you looked different. That was the base ideology of racism. Then there was the system. Which came first, the system or the ideology? The belief or the system? Which
It
came
was actually the system because this is done way before America
the
was created.
system?
Yes, this was done way before America was created. If you know your world history, you'll know that all governments,
Okay,
no matter.
I do know my world history,
Love.
so
Hold on, because you do kind of cut me off when I'm speaking, and that's
yeah,
not
it's my
okay.
live. I do that a lot when people are wrong. So I'm gonna ask you a question
How
of
is that wrong? Do you
where
know
do
what
you think
happened in
that race was
Germany?
created?
Hmm?
How do you think race was created or invented?
No, I'm talking about this system that you're talking about.
Yeah, the system that I'm talking about. Where would you say that it was created?
Yeah, that system has always been in existence. It's just unfortunate that people, the thing about it
What's
is
the system?
a government, this is how a government controls people. What they do is they find out what are the differences. And then once they find out what the differences are, they use tactics like mainstream media, newspaper outlets, all of that, celebrity.
Okay, so I don't like misinformation. So I'm going to ask you one more time, where was racism created? Since you came at me and said, oh, you should know your world history. I do. So I'm going to quiz you and ask you. I'm going to pick your brain a little bit. Where was racism invented? How far back can we acknowledge racism, where racism was? Can we predate racism?
Ooh, I know.
I know you do, but he's the one who stated that I don't know my world history, or if I do. So I'm going to see if he knows his, because I'll state mine. Can I ask you where the system was created? If you believe it was a system.
I'm sorry, I was muted, so I didn't mute
Yeah,
myself.
you were. You can unmute yourself. I guess you figured out how. Can you tell me where the system was created or when you think it was in your
So
worldview?
again, I was not speaking on the racism system. I was speaking on the governmental system of divide, which
Okay,
is
so
the
you're
basis of your
talking
race.
about non-conversation. That's not what we're talking. Yeah, the divide. That's race. So again, when was the ideology of race created? Can you please answer that and stop going around the conversation? If you know the answer, please say it.
I couldn't give you an exact answer, but I would say around the 1700s. When would you say?
I would say
Okay, so
2000
we can predate
BCE.
it to the 500s actually
We
with
could actually
my
go
calc.
farther back than that with 2000 BCE when the Hebrew religion was first put into a text of the Old
Did you
Testament.
say 2000?
Yeah, BCE.
Yeah.
Well, what's
But we can predate it back to like what we have, or like at least scientists have found is the Maya Caliphate, or at least what I know more about, and that was based on the ideology through the Maya Caliphate that I can speak on. And it was the ideology of, first of all, there were these black people within Central Africa and East Africa that looked different. They didn't believe in the same religion. Therefore, we're going to perpetuate racism towards them, enslave them, whites and black people, not only black people, but whites and black people. We're going to belittle them, enslave them, and treat them like absolute shit because they look different than us and they practice the different religion than us.
So what I
It was
was,
the ideology first. It was the ideology first.
yeah, so that's what I said. But this is what I'm
No,
explaining.
you didn't. You said that the system came first.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. The system and the ideology, when it comes to the way the government manipulates us, which is what I was talking about originally, is how you're going to fight the racism. That's what I'm commenting on. So I know that the government does these things specific to divide us, and so it's not really when it comes to a people thing, it's going to be, and I'm not saying that it's impossible, but the fight is with the government to change like the racism, because the individuals, unfortunately, we're still under lock and siege on how the government perpetuates this racism. Governments have been doing
Absolutely,
this
but
for
we at
years.
least need to at least need to know that racism needs to stop.
Yeah,
First and
I
foremost,
think
and
a
know
lot
that
of people
we all
think that
believe the
racism
same.
needs to stop. I don't think that's a
Adventures.
question in anybody's heart besides racists that
Ad-
racism needs to stop.
Adventures.
Okay, good. So we're on the same page. So,
We
Adventures.
were
I
never
actually
off the
answered
same
her
page.
question that you gave to
oh,
her.
we
To
were just for a second when you said that the system came first. We were on this
yeah.
on this
Oh,
same
what's the correlation to
tangent.
the
Well, I'm
system
sorry.
coming
Yeah, that was
first?
my bad because I thought you were talking about the system and the ideology, not the actual racism, because you said which one came first.
No,
The
she said the ideology did, and it did come first because you have to have an ideology before you have a system.
yeah, I didn't disagree with that.
Okay, well, she answered your question like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, but you're not her bodyguard, but it's okay. We're on the same page, and that's okay. So what I'm
Jared
saying
is
is
my
that,
bodyguard. I don't know what you're talking about. I pay him
I
well.
identify
oh,
as a
well, I'm glad. Can I get one of those checks? But what I'm saying is the way to fight this racism is going to have to be a government thing because they're the ones that control the separation through the media. They're the ones who do it. And all governments do this to keep people at bay because as long as we're focused on racism, then we can't focus on what's really happening to us. Like how they're killing us with diseases and shots and everything else. And not to
Sure.
spin it as anything else, but I'm just saying.
I mean, sure, if we like some conspiracy theories. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really call for all right our anarchy though. Do you have anything else before I drop you and bring up another person? Okay. Adventures, do you have anything else
Hi,
before I drop you and bring
sister.
up another person? Hi, Tim, you're lucky I have some coins for you.
How are you?
Adventures? Okay. Tim, you're lucky I have some coins for you.
Man, I am so oppressed. I am a mixed person up here. LOL.
I know you are.
Just playing. I don't care about him.
Bro, Don loves to like just go on mute and like
Thank you, sister, for the roasting.
all right, love Tim, okay?
Sister, tell them people help me, please.
I always tell them help you. Anybody who's in here and has coins that you can give to Tim, my brother Tim.
Hey, what
So,
happened to the what happened to everybody? Where'd everybody go?
you were not here, and we had to talk about how the system did not come before the ideology and stuff like that.
Wait. I'm saying like
you lost out on a whole freaking like a twinner, bro. You could add a twofer on that one.
nah, I was eating, but I mean I was still here. I saw the people
It's
there.
okay. They went quiet after I asked if they had anything else to say, and then they backpedaled and used a different thing. Said that wasn't what. Why do they always do that to me?
Yeah,
Why do people backpedal with me and they never backpedal with you?
Bro, did you put any hot sauce on them noodles?
I did put hot sauce on the noodles.
Why did they drop Tim? I didn't drop Tim.
Them shit tasted like macaroni and cheese, bro. I overcooked them shits, bro.